Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Hope you're having a wonderful day out there in crypto land. Bitcoin, nice little pump here on the morning. And it was kind of tight. It did a bit of a stop hunt this morning. I got stopped out in a beautiful long that I was in last night. We're going to talk about why we longed it. If you were watching my live stream last night, you were maybe in the same trade, or you at least watched me take the trade and thought about it all night. What's going to happen to Sammy's trade when he comes back in the morning? Shout out to my lifers, man. Shout out to everybody here. We're going to start off with a nice shot of ginger. We're going to double up today. A shot of ginger and a shot of turmeric. You know what I mean? I'm feeling great. No reason, like, you don't start taking these shots when you feel sick. You start doing it now. Ooh, shot of ginger will get you going. What's going on behind me? What are all these bubbles? If you're new to the channel, you're like, what is this guy looking at? What's happening? This sharply dressed man. Well, what's going on is mine. May I say so myself? But what I'm looking at here is the 67,650 level. Don't take me seriously, please. Not at all. Not even my clothes. Hey. But look, 67,650 Bitcoin, right? You can see there's a bunch of red liquidity above us. That means there's a bunch of people that shorted the market. And there's their stop losses, and it looks like the masses, usually it's the majority of people that are wrong, which is I say the mass, I don't mean to be rude, but newbies or traders that don't understand. But there's a bunch of liquidity up here now. This is an API that's basically telling me where people's stop liquidation levels are on Binance Futures, Bybit, OKX, and BitGet. So it's amalgamated data, okay? Amalgamated, new word for you there. But it's amalgamated data. All right, and it's telling me, hey, there's a bunch of liquidations at 69K. And it's telling me usually you don't want to be on the wrong side. So when I see this, I want to long into it. I don't want to be shorting this, all right, in general. Doesn't mean it's 100%. I've seen it fake or these orders be there, and somehow these people be right. They don't get stopped out, and we don't. So it's nothing is a guarantee in trading. But lately, this has been 95% accurate. Like, it's been spot on. And once in a while, once every 30 days, I think once every 30 times, I'll see some red and we just don't do it. But the TA will be spot on. I'll see a head and shoulder or something happen. So this is telling me that we want to bounce somewhere up to 69,000. That's just what I'm reading right off the bat for you. So your first, like if I was a weatherman and you came here for the weather, you'd be like, what am I going to wear today? What do I got to do? But you want to find out how to manage the weather of the markets today. And I'm your weatherman, Sam Price. On the market weather, here we see a big storm forming, coming down into liquidity. But we have a larger area, a mass of high pressure moving over towards the... No, but seriously, so we've got this big level here. I mean, you got to do something different every single day. So we see that there's this beautiful level here at 69,000. I like it. All right, so that's kind of the first thing that we talk about, all right? And I'm just going to reload that for a second because I messed with it. But the whole point is we've got liquidity now. We understand where the market would like to go. Now, whether it goes there or not, we'll break it down. We'll look at it. Today, I just sold the trade that I went in last night. Remember, I lost those two trades, took all my gains back and more. And I made $919, and it was overnight. I was up like 13, maybe even 1,600 at one point when we went to 68,000. But I kept kind of riding this tight channel. It looked like we were going to break out bigger. And eventually I had to put a tie on, and of course, when I went to go do that and get ready for the show, bang. That's exactly when it all, and that's what happens every time, So, shout out to everybody here. Thank you for jumping on in and being a part of the live stream. We appreciate that more than you would ever know. Your time makes this show amazing. May God bless you. All right. Shout out to the world here. Let me send the link to the trading group, and let me pop out the chat and see what's happening here. Soon, it won't be too much longer. I'll be standing at this live stream. Or maybe if I have a smaller live stream, I'll be standing. But so far, so good. Everyone, jump on into Bitcoin Las Vegas. I'm telling you right now, time is running out. April will be here tomorrow. This is amazing. April starts April 1st. And then my birthday comes, and then another year has passed. I just can't believe it. I'm headed to be 50 years old. I just can't believe I'll be 50 years old in what seems like not too long from now, man. I never thought I was going to even hit that age. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just 28. Then I started my YouTube channel, my first YouTube channel at like 29, 30. And then I started this YouTube channel. And next thing you know, I've been doing this YouTube channel soon for 7 years. 7 years, since September of 2019. It's unbelievable. Anyway, Bitcoin Las Vegas, hang out with me, talk about the future and the past, have a blast. It's one of the greatest times ever. We look each other in the eye, get to meet so many lifers. The hotel's in the place, so we all can stay near each other and come meet each. It's just really nice. And decent hotel. You know, I have pretty high standards. I had a good time last time, no problems. Everything was clean, up to par, you know. Anyway, the Venetian, check it out. All right. I booked my hotel the day I was leaving. I was sitting in the airport, had nothing to do, and I booked my hotel for this event. You know, they actually put it out like, you know, so. You'll be standing very soon. Oh, I can stand already, but, you know, will I stand during the entire show? But I can stand, everybody. Here you go. Ready? Let's do it. I can dance. I can move, no crutches. You know what I mean? I'm feeling good, man. I'm back to my old self again. I just needed a little bit of mobility. I didn't need it all back, but just not having to hobble around anymore has been huge for me. Anyway, let's do our top data analysis for Bitcoin. Let's see if there's opportunity in these charts. What I just saw is a bearish retest of the 200 moving average. So I was looking for this to break out. I luckily got into the trade last night in this flag. So I saw the model last night, and I went over it with everybody, and I kept saying it's getting tight. I got in right here. It got tighter and tighter, and actually I made this trade live in front of everybody. If we go back to the live stream last night, you can see me saying, hey, I'm going to take the long third time, man. Remember? And I was like, if I get out of this one, and I think I went 150 for like $1,000. So like when I made that $900 today, I risked a very small, like the stop loss was very little. And I only used like $1,000. I used $1,500 to make $900, which I think is like, the key is using smaller amounts to make big, you know, can you make $2-3 grand a day, but only have $1,000 or $3,000 in your account? I have 32 grand in there, 33,000, but do I need the whole thing? No. I mean, look, that's a headed, you see how it's kind of like, it's not perfect to see, but you kind of has some head and shoulder vibes for me, you know, but bearish retest of the 200 is never a great sign. But again, I figured they would stop hunt here. They'd make a nice pattern in on a Monday morning. They would stop hunt. So I did say to everyone, watch out for the stop hunt. Okay. And the longs are on the bigger scale. We'll take a look at some bigger things. Because this is just the 1 minute. And I might make a live trade. You know, we don't know yet. We'll see. I'm letting price action soak into my subconscious. You see? We did really well this weekend. I woke up Saturday morning and I sold that trade that I showed you guys on Saturday. I went two live streams on the weekend, really showed you guys how to trade. We did an amazing well. So I've made almost a little over $2,400 on the weekend, man. On the weekend. And I had just come off like a $4,000 Friday. So I'm on a $6,000 run right now since Thursday night or Friday afternoon, whatever, you know what I mean? So, dear Lord, thank you for the blessings. I appreciate it, man. Profitable trading, man. I pray to God to keep me disciplined. I say, God, keep me profitable, man. I really do, you know. And some say, hey, don't mix your prayers. But that's what I do for a living. And so I say, dear Lord, help me in all facets of my life and everything that I'm doing. Help me stay disciplined in every action that I take. Help me not get greedy, man. So, and shout out to everybody here kicking it with me. I appreciate you all. And again, I gave every trade in the group. I showed everyone exactly what I did. Losses came, you know, but I kept the losses very small, which is really awesome, you know. Keep the losses small, keep the wins big. All right. Hey, if you can do that, you can channel some good energy, gets good discipline. You're not beating yourself up. And I'm also taking proper risk. Like last night, I lost twice, lost 170, then lost like 350. And I said, okay, next trade's like 180 for 1,000. I would have lost another 180, but that one hit and it paid for all the losses and some. I didn't let those losses scare me out of getting into a trade. And that's another thing about trading psychology. You got to push through. You got to push through the tougher times. You know, it's not going to be easy. It never is, never was. And you got to be there for yourself mentally as a trader. This is a game of mental toughness and mental fortitude. As much as, you know, really, it's about your, you know, you got to build a strong base. to handle if you want to trade every day. I traded through the weekend. I usually don't trade the weekend. I got paid Saturday during the day and then Sunday night, and so stick with the plan, yeah. Yeah, Powell, yeah, every YouTube channel show I'm on the action, yeah. What's your strategy for adjusting? I don't know. No idea. Oh, strategy for adjusting. It's funny, I guess I got thrown off. My strategy for adjusting. What I do is I use the 200 a lot. And if things look really good, I make a move one way. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah, don't stress. There's 800 people here on the live like there always is. You know what I mean? And growing. We'll get to probably 1,200, 1,500 people here. So, yeah, the stream is going well. It does say viewer activity. I see here streamer settings, concurrent viewers is 117. Yeah. But I see you all. There's 826 people here. All right. There's something wrong with YouTube today, so it's okay. I don't even stress that. See, I don't even stress it. Where is that coming from? About to say, I was like, I'm playing my other thing. There we go. All right, sorry about that. Then it's time to like the video. Yeah. Digging the vest today. I used to do the vest a lot, man. It's been a long time. I used to do the vest every Monday morning because Monday morning felt like opening up shop at the stock market. You know what I mean? It's Monday morning. It's time to get busy. It's time to see what's happening. NASDAQ, let's go, So I don't know if you guys remember, but I used to Monday morning. I don't think I'm going to get back to that. Monday morning, it's the vest because it just kind of sets the tone for the week. It's like, I'm in a vest. I'm not playing around. You know what I mean? The vest says something. I'm going to talk about a lot today. I have a lot to go over. I got a fractal I want to kind of dive into. There's just so much to sit down and talk about. I want to go back to this previous low, though, for a split second, if we may. When we called that 15K low for Bitcoin so many years ago. It's crazy we went all the way, So September of 2017. Yeah, see this low right here, I want to zoom into like the daily. It's crazy how it doesn't even look that bad when you really think about it. At the time, it was horrible. So I just want you to, this looks like, I have to be honest, and I have such a good memory of this. And I called this out as a cup and handle, and we traded it as such, and I showed you there was a gap in the VRVP, and I kept telling everyone, if we get the move up, then, we'll be at 19K pretty fast. And we happen, because I just trust in the VRVP. I don't know. Back then, this is exactly 6 years ago, around this time, January though, right? But, 3 years ago. 3 years ago. So anyway, this fractal looks very interesting. So I'm just going to grab it for a second and take a look at it. But it's got that vibe, right? And then kind of drag it, if I may, to where we are today. And just show you kind of the eerie similarities that it had. It had a massive liquidation at the beginning, right there. It had a bunch of chop easy. And look how it fits. It fits almost without me even slightly adjusting it yet. It's eerily similar to the point of like it's twin-like, I'm not saying, this is what's called fractal magic, folks. I used to do this all the time on the channel. And again, it doesn't mean it's happening for sure, but it just shows you this is what they've done this exact kind of emotional move. This move is an emotional move on retail. Get them to sell, liquidate them, fake a pump, liquidate them, fake a pump, liquidate them, fake a dump, liquidate them, rip them up. They want to build and build and build and build and build and build. And if they keep doing this, what they'll do is they'll create a negative vibration, right? They'll pull on people. They'll start feeling, it's over. Head and shoulder bearish retest. It has to be going down. All the TA, it's a bear flag below, and it has to dump. You have to short that, they're going to say. Then we're going to cross the 1 hour 200 moving average and the 21 will touch, and I'll be long here, and then boom, right? We'll catch it. Everyone will think I'm out of my mind. I'll be short like the day before saying that's a bear flag. I don't like it. But I'll say I'm going to watch it. We'll cross the 15-200. I'll get the, we'll know exactly when to flip long because that's what I do. We'll catch we've caught in like almost every one of these that ever happened. I'm not trying to brag. It's just the facts. It's because my trading style kind of lives around figuring this out. Anyway, I'm not saying this is going to happen for sure, but it's interesting. And another thing that I keep saying is I've never seen this hit a 5. It went to 5 twice. And the stochastics RSI were below on the 2-week chart. Yeah. So anyway, this is just like, and I remember I have all this photographic memory of fractals in my mind. And again, this one looked kind of somewhat similar, but this was more choppy. But, they almost faked it. To me, they did a pretty good job because they had me kind of seeing this as an Adam and Eve double bottom. And they very rarely break out, break down. And then they kind of, we had the head and shoulders. This gave you the key to trade it short, I was able to give a short call there. So anyway, point of the story is if you trade just generic head and shoulders, and that got us, look, we took that short. I took that short. That's what got us so paid there, right? As we woke up in the morning. And so that was Thursday night into Friday, and we got nice shorts. Anyway, let's break it down. Let's have some fun. Let's start with the beginnings. The beginnings. Yeah, look, it's been dumping ever since. Look at that. See that? That's a head and shoulder pattern right there in front of you. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Tells you you're likely going to dump the neckline to the head. And that tells you, Bitcoin going back somewhere to 66,982. Okay. Rejection of the 200 moving average. Remember, we like to we get in when the 21's above the 200. We sell when the pump feels artificial, or move our stop losses into position, and if they dump it, we get stopped out. That's what I did. I just kept moving my stop. 800, 900, Could have been a little more greedy, but it's okay. Someone says, lower lows, dump it. Little Tide Mining wants it to go down. He wants that cheaper price for Bitcoin, and maybe he's in a fat little short there. Or fat little short, or he's at a fat short. Couldn't be a little one, right? But maybe he's in a short. And you know what? I love everybody that trades, man. Whether even if I'm short and we're short, great. If I'm long and you're long, great. If I'm long and you're short, if I'm short and you're long. I just love the fact that people are taking a chance every day on what they believe and going for it, man, because there was a time when I never traded at all. And this whole world, you guys were all doing this. Maybe some of you people might have been in the game and I wasn't. I talk about when the beginner strikes out. And it's a key thing that I talk about a lot. I love this analogy, and I take this analogy. So you're not a trader. Like there was a time when I didn't know what a chart was, and I didn't, I might have bought one stock on Apple and held it in my phone, but I didn't look at it for a year or two. And was I a trader? I mean, I guess I began my investment journey. But I'm just, there's two people. There's you when you didn't know anything about technical analysis. And then you step through the looking glass, and then there's you who now has the charts in your mind, right? And once the charts are in your mind, it's kind of almost impossible to go back to the guy and gal that didn't know about the charts, right? Where am I going with this? I'm going to give you something, I think that can help the beginner that's struggling right now. It helped me, and I go back to it too. I reinforce myself with all these lessons every day because they help. So a guy's in the minor league playing baseball, right? That's the person that doesn't know the charts. And the guy, he gets moved up to the major leagues. That's like someone that now knows the charts, right? So not knowing the charts is the minor league. Knowing the charts is the major league, right? Now in the major league, he strikes out a few times, right? And he feels really upset and he's stressed out because he doesn't do as good as in the minor leagues. Why? I mean, it's harder. It's not as good as, it's not as easy as the minor league. When he's coasting and he's just saving money and he's doing nothing, life is cool. But then he gets into investing. He gets into trading. He might get his butt kicked. He might lose his first investment. He might lose, a couple trades at the beginning. He might be down, a grand when he puts his first 1,000 account and be really down on himself. Now, this person is similar to the minor league that just got into the major league. This guy should be grateful that he actually is, he's striking out in the major league, but man, there's guys that are never going to make it to the major league. So you might be striking out in your beginnings, but there's people that will never learn TA ever and never know any of it and never be able to take advantage of anything. No oil, no gold, no nothing. So the journey is hard and long. It's never going to be easy. Get away from anyone that tells you it's easy. Stop looking for an easy way out. Once you decide and take a deep breath, a real deep, because, in the deep subconscious of our minds, we want things to be a little, we want to just get things. We want to have them. We want to be like, man, why can't I just have that nice car? Why can't I just wake up and have a Bentley in the driveway like that guy? Well, you don't realize everyone that has something that seems untouchable probably did so much hard work to get there, Just remember that. When you see a successful person, I used to say to myself, I'm being honest. I'm going to say something really rude. Please don't judge me. I grew up middle class, and my dad used to say when someone walked by, oh, that guy's a trust fund baby, right? What is a trust fund baby? Everybody know what a trust fund baby is? Anyone ever hear that comment before? Right? Does anyone know what a trust fund baby is? And shout out to the comment section. It is ripping up tonight. Yeah. Enjoying the grind every day. Yeah, but he's kind of just like talking in front of he's just doing like a speak at Harvard today. You know what I mean? It's not like people aren't going to hang on his every word. He's going to be more generally speaking. I don't think it's worth looking at him today. I think we should stay in, Funny, Trustafarians. Yes, exactly, yeah. Someone born into wealth, of course, but the market looks for anything to bump it up. So anyway, I used to think that I basically made a reason anytime I saw someone extremely wealthy, I made a reason to make it seem like, well, they had some upper way that I'll never have. Like, they were born into a really rich family, or they went to some big private school. Because in Massachusetts, there's a lot of like big private schools that are they're like almost 60 to 80 grand a year. Unless your dad's making big money. Like, you're not going there. They price you out of society. In Massachusetts, there's like a higher class of society that you don't even get to become a part of. They exist. Like, they go to nicer schools. They go to the good colleges that transfer them right in. And then they're setting themselves up for the upper echelons at an early age. And you can see this happen, I luckily went to somewhat of a competitive school. And, So anyway, this looks dumpy, man. Like a descending triangle, right? That wants to go lower. You have to be really quick on this 1 minute. Do I take this short? Would be a nice little scalp. Feel like it already ran a little quick on me. I didn't see it fast enough. Oh, they sent it. But you could see a descending triangle, the curvature. We play this the other way all day, right? 21 above the 200. So it's you got to do what you do. Funny though, the second Jerome Powell does start to talk. You know what I mean? They're still introducing him though. He hasn't even spoken yet. Everyone's screaming buy now, sell. The chat is going crazy. Buy now, short, cry. Buy, sell. Everyone's bugging out. So I guess a lot of people put a lot of weight on this. Parents loaded and add everything to the kid on a silver plate. Yeah. Yeah. People buying super chats and sending them in. Oh, funny, man. So I'm looking for this to go lower here on the short term. Funny, the second this man even comes out and starts to talk. I got it here. I got it running on another screen. I'll ask you guys. I guess we'll run a poll. You know what I mean? We'll run a poll real fast. Start a poll. So, yes, I already sold my trade too, so that makes me, I'm just kind of chilling. I made a dang near $1,000 this morning. I'm feeling good. First, and it's Monday, man. I usually don't even trade Monday morning, so. Do you desire Jerome Powell, yes or no? Like, do you want Jerome Powell, like, while, on, during the show? You guys tell me. If it overrides, we'll see. All right, there's a poll running right now here. Do you desire Jerome Powell during the show today? All right. I have him watching here. I grew up in D.C. My mom and dad fought in World War II. A U.S. attorney, but they weren't people who were terribly plugged in politically. I was very interested in those years in public policy and trying to create a life that was private party, public sector. And amazingly enough, that's kind of what happened. Look at that nice bounce there for Bitcoin. I'm not short or long right now. I want to make it clear. All right. Still kind of waiting to see what happens. He may throw a dagger there, here or there. We don't know exactly what he's going to say. Yeah. It's another one of those days. So anyway, let's get out of this fractal magic. Let's get back into basics. But I just wanted to show that to you. I wanted to document it. It does look interesting. It's the last time we made a bottom. It looked eerily similar to that exact shape and form. And it looked pretty bearish, like we were going lower. A lot of people called for 12,000. A lot of people were short. There was a lot of liquidity. And see that gap of the VRVP, we would rip up to 19K. I would be buying Bitcoin there in front of the world and buying more Bitcoin at 19,000, a whole Bitcoin in front of everybody too. That's still up, $40,000 from that level, right? So 56% said no, 46% said yes. We'll see what happens. So far, only 141 votes here on the show. All right. Let's see what happens here. Let's get the votes up to the watchers. We got 800 and some odd watchers, even more than that, actually. Of 1,000 people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. All right, so the first thing we look at is the monthly chart. Right, right off the bat, the monthly is green again. It was red, but it's back to green. And all we need is the monthly to close green. I don't care how, remember, I still have the monthly trade open. Remember, with the stop below this wick, it's like, $2,000 for 20,000 bucks. I'm not, but it's still open. It's still there. It's so crazy. I'm just letting it sit. And it's been open for like 2 to 3 weeks now. Underwater, of course, but it was up many times too. All right. Anyway, it's interesting to see because that's covered. If we do get the rip, I'll be able to show a crazy monthly trade that I've, and it's going to teach me a lot about how to trade it on a bigger scale and how long it's going to take, what I got to do. And the next time I do it, I'm going to do it even bigger and so on and so forth. Then I'm going to get better and better at trading the monthly. I never traded the monthly yet where like it's actually the time frame I'm looking at and no other time frame. And so that will be the first time I made a monthly trade. And, of course, I'm doing other things, but that trade is like separate in my mind in the monthly, right? So here's the deal. We're in a bit of a falling wedge here on the 2-week chart. On the monthly chart, can we break to the upside? I mean, when you do the fib from this impulse wick, you can see we wick down and we're right at the 786 Fibonacci retracement, which is acceptable for a possible bounce. We could even still be getting a shoulder ahead and a right shoulder. Okay, we could get this one. We get a shoulder here, a head and a right shoulder. Like this could still just be a dead cat bounce, so to speak. I'm not, you know what I mean? We'll take it one step at a time, but hey, a bounce is better than anything because at least that's the gateway that we could possibly get to a bigger move. What I've seen before is this is like an uptrending cup. I call it a half a cup a handle or an ascending cup a handle, and then you'll see you'll have this exact leg. And if Bitcoin can somehow stir up a bottom there, you could see a $580,000, $700,000 Bitcoin by February of 2029. You know what I'm saying? Very possible, which would change many a person's life. A lot of people that sold Bitcoin here, I saw billionaires that took hundreds of millions, but some people became billionaires. So Bitcoin made the billionaires. I saw, some whales took some big money off the table here. They got in at 300, 400 bucks and they sold at $126,000 after holding for, 14, 15 years. I mean, you gotta, How, maybe some of these people were 60 years old when they did it. You never know. Their age has a lot to do with it. You only get so old. And you can only use your money for so long until, all right. I definitely plan to pass, God willing, please, to pass Bitcoin on to my children and my family, That's the goal. So 2-week chart. Previous support is resistance right here. You could say as long as we stay above this resistance right there, 64,000, and we can't come and test. And even the previous high of the last cycle there, 60, with the candle's body close, and then here at about 60K. You lose that, it would be 55, and then you lose that, it would be 49,000. So, we have some support. So the first thing you would have to lose is 64K, right? 63.9. And so far, you are holding above that key level. Okay. So it's a 55 to 45% on Jerome. No one wants Jer Powell. Yeah, it's not really a Fed meeting. You know what I'm saying? If it was a Fed meeting, I could see it. And he's on his way out. I think he's just going to be candid today. He's talking about the Fed governors now, but that's not really typical of other major central banks where there's more dissenting. Different depends on the central bank, and 11 to me is what matters. It's a dissent. Thoughtful is to help. Will express a point of view. So you could say, he's just talking about how they talk and go over things. You know what I mean? Like the democracy of the Federal Reserve. So here we're kind of right. So we rode this level. We came up. We got rejected by this, for sure, in my humble opinion. We got rejected. Came back. Can we get a bounce at it again? Is this a double bottom on the weekly? So far it is. It's a strange one, but Bitcoin likes to make some weird looking stuff on the bigger time frames. That could be a double bottom of the weekly that ends up plowing all the way back through this gap. We got the, it's kind of very similar how we have the gap of the VRVP to what I showed you there on that smaller time frame, right? On the 15, when we were at 15K there, on the fractal. The fractal magic that we pulled off earlier today, right? 5-day chart looks very interesting too as well. Could it be a coupe del handle? A cup and handle, right? And then you look at this and it has some, it's got that cup and handle vibe to me. And I know I'm a little more biased. I use the cup and handle way too much, more than anybody. But it's funny. It's not like we don't talk about it as much as we used to. Remember, Sammy, cup and handy to the upside. The show used to be electric, man. I became it's interesting how everything changed over time, but what a beautiful show that this place has evolved into as I matured too. Everything is kind of, so there's a bit of a cup and handle here. You can, you know what I mean? As long as the daily stays above where this candle opened, which is 65,971, you have the chance at that support. Now, once you lose that, you got to start thinking you're going lower, right? So this is your hopium copium that you've made some type of high or low. You could even take a fib from here and pull it, and you could see we're bouncing right off the 786 Fibonacci retracement. If you go to the impulse here, you can see we're from this one, which a lot of people will bull, we're bouncing right off the 618. Right off the golden pocket. If that's not a coincidence. So there's a lot of people that probably use CVD, divergence, and the golden pocket, and were able to enter that long. Or you could just get in on green candles, or do what I did when I saw a flag on the 1 minute time frame crossing the 200. It's up to you. I can show you 5 ways to get in this trade with 5 different ways of trading. And they all work. One is candle body, front running the green candle with a stop loss below. That's to me the riskiest one because it's just kind of flat. Less confirmation there. Other one is support or resistance. Bounce, bounce, bounce. You came there again. You long support. So you would long there every time with a stop below these wicks here. All right. Like these wicks, right? They see that cluster of wicks. You would put your stop somewhere there. And bang. So this tells me that we could be getting the bounce of bounces, and, my fib traders are going to look at that and they're going to long. My support or resistance traders might get in on there. So and when we can stack multiple ideas where multiple traders are going to do the same thing, that's when you could shift the market, right? Because they're bots, everything kind of programmed is going to move. That's kind of where things really start to make sense. So tightness of price action, a push up to the 200 moving average is very possible. Okay. Adam and Eve, lower highs. Good morning, Sammy. Good morning to Cars to Crypto 87. Look at my chart for the new lows. False move Monday to the upside, please. Shout out to Manuel Braceno. Shout out to all the awesome people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in and being amazing. Appreciate you all for being here. Okay. And we got over 1,000 people here in the stream. 1,078. I could prove it. I know people don't believe me. No, you don't there, laddie. Yes, we do there. The chat rate to 3. We have 1,078 beautiful souls here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in there. So, yes, there's a chance, man. So this is your bull. This is your bull. This is your idea for bullishness. I showed you a fractal. I showed you support. The fear and greed being at 5, while the stochastic RSI and the 2-week chart were below the dotted line. The daily being very, very oversold. So, would it be advantageous to put in a long? If, like me, you've made good money in the last few days, shorting and longing and swing trading, might not hurt to risk some of it to see if you can catch the big move. You know? I am eyeing this as a possible. We could wait for tonight for the candle to close. If it closes green, then the second it closes green at 8 p.m., we open up a trade. Or you wait. What I actually do is you open up the trade, you watch the dump, and then as it starts to come back, and the second the candle turns green again, and you see it has a wick, I enter the long. That's been my new thing. Been really good at candle trading now. I've been waiting for the perfect moment. There's switches that you could just snap into when it comes to candle body trading. And now I could trade I could always do it, but I focused on it now more. And it happened, I told you, when I went to Singapore. I'm a broken record, but I went to Singapore, couldn't stare at the smaller charts that make me all the money. 3 minute, 1 minute, 5 minute. I knew I was going to fly over India, lose internet, all those 8 hours and all this nonsense. I'm taking some turmeric now, folks. That's way easier than the ginger, obviously. But yeah, and these are in glass too, making sure taking supplements out of glass. So, oversold in the daily looks okay, but again, I don't want to feed you a dream here. I'm about to blow your mind and mess with you, because now I'm going to show you how it could be bearish. So that's a probability. You could take a shot there. I'm not telling you that I know what's going to happen. I am showing you how I take shots, what I do. Whether it's perfect or not, it's, you could determine that by watching me every day. Shot. Yeah, Jerome Powell. I know you got that Irish accent from watching Darby O'Gill too much. I don't know who that is, but God bless you. I should, right? I'm so sorry. I don't watch any TV, so I don't know nothing. The Irish eyes are smiling there, boys. Either. We send them to the RA there. No, but, you got this beautiful channel. It's interesting. And the Fibonacci retracement is nice, and we bounced right off of it like we're supposed to. So there's starting to be this idea here, right? Flip it upside down. Pull your Fibonacci. Flip it right side up. But bounce back to this 618. You see the same idea, how you're at the top, and you could see us getting, and look, there's a gaps in the VRVP up to here, another gap up to I'm just having some fun with it. Just showing you some stuff. Let's take a look at these smaller time frames and see if there's a scalp coming, or we're still kind of in the doldrums. We'll see. Yeah, so they raced around. They kind of went up and down here. Let's just do some smaller time frame TA. But what I'm going to do will bleed into it eventually, right? Could be an inverted head and shoulder that bounces back to the upside. For me, you got to get above that local support and resistance now, because bounce resistance, right? So you got to flip 67 back to support. You don't want to lose 67,000. You're likely go lower, right? 5 minutes on the 200 moving average. One of our favorite places to possibly, get into a long. I use the 200 because when you're near the 200, the likelihood of you losing a lot of money is low, because the stop loss can be very close to the position. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a no-brainer. Like, getting in right here, the stop loss is right there. Here, it's like, well, I got to put it wherever, right? They hit me, I lose small. But when I hit so big. So it's already pumping a little bit off this level. Oh, man. My strategy's so good, it gets ahead of me. See how that quickly turns into a 2.5 risk to reward ratio. It was just a 3-to-1. You expect to bounce off the yellow line, the 200 moving average. You got to look for it. 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute. You'll find these opportunities in the market. They're Easter eggs. It doesn't mean we're going to pump for sure, but this is how a pump would definitely happen. So I like to get in near the 21 and the 200, preferably when they're closer, not this far apart. I like to get in when you're away from the 200 and away from the 21. You see? So you get in here, you get out here. It's a simple strategy. I use the 21 and the 200 all the time to enter and exit trades. Dang, I just missed this nice little scalp here back to the upside. And Bitcoin took a nice pump. $200 pump. I'd already be in the money right now had I just kind of entered there for the 2.5 risk reward ratio. I did call the pump, though. I told you we were about to get a move off that 200. That's just how I trade. We look at this every single day. If you're here on the channel and you just learned, you're back, wow. Yeah. Ooh, I like it. The 30-minute looks good, too. Now, this could be making a complex head and shoulders. You just kind of found the time frame that made the most sense. I like to set up here. So what you could do is you can use the 200 as protection. Again, you saw me do the last night, and they did stop hunt me, but I was a little too close to the 200. The key is to be a couple digit, see, this is nice. See, here's resistance, and then we're the next resistance below the 200 moving average. This is just beautiful. This is what I'm looking for. Man, relentless teaching every single day. I don't know I am insane. I mean, I love the lifestyle. I love being a YouTuber. It's awesome. You know what I mean? It's like, wow. I'm just so, you know what it is? I work every day to show God how appreciative of I am. I could pray, which I do. But then I could also, if you pray and do no action, I mean, how to me, but to show God through my behavior, dear Lord, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm never going to squander one day. I'm going to show up, dress nice, do my thing, and give as much teaching as I can to everybody here on the show. So God bless you, awesome people here on the stream. We love you. We appreciate you. And yeah, I'm just so lucky. I know I'm lucky. Shout out to the 1,226 people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. You guys are growing. And again, we're getting to that 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Savings. So the 30-minute looks good. I like it. This is where I like to long. 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. And look, like what I do is I just keep risking what we've made. So like 215, 6. Oh yeah, so there's the layout. 67.5 is psychological. And look, I use a very small amount of the account, like 267, I'd still be up. And I make another 850 and we'd now the day would be a dang near $2,000 day, right? I found when I'm not greedy, I make more money. I want to go 3,000 for 11. But it goes wrong, man. I'm down 3K on the day. And you do that 10 times, you've lost a 30K account. Like, it can happen quick. People don't realize, like, small, it seems like you're trading small. Next thing you know, it's gone. I've been through it so many times. I trade cautiously for a reason. Like, I like to keep the money that I have. I don't like to lose my money. When I make money, I like to see it the next year. I like to make money and turn it into cash flow. I don't like, you know what I mean? Squandering money is sad. It's like you had it and then you don't have it anymore. It's like, dang. Yeah, see, 3 for 788. Not the best now. We're starting to lose. See, now we're back at 2.5. And see, everything changes. I can still keep it 3 at 66,837. See how every digit matters down to the dollar, man. 36, 37, 44, 42, 41. Like, this is no game. Like, if you're going to do this, you have to be into the math. And if you're like, oh, this is too much for me, this guy sounds like a brainiac. I'm not. I am a simple guy, man. I just seem smart. I'm good at looking smart, man. I feel like I'm like the simple. I keep things really simple because when things get complicated, my mind gets jumbled and it doesn't make sense to me. And that's when I get rattled. So I have to keep things clean, concise, and consistent so I can do them repetitively. Right? The same actions over and over again. Wow, nice little pump here for Bitcoin off the 200 moving average. And I hope you're learning something here today with me. And look, now the 1 minute's back above the 200. Vicious move there on those shorts. So they went after a hunt. They grabbed a bunch of people. And now there's still a chance they kind of make this thing look nice and tidy for a nice pump to the upside today. We know there's liquidity up there, so they kind of have to figure out a way to get us up there. What do I mean by that? Well, let me show you. Like, let's just say you were here. Like, some days in the charts, you'll be here. You know, you'll be up, you'll make a head and shoulder, you'll dump, and you'll be down, and you'll be making a flag, and people will be like, what's up? But BOOKMAP sends all this red, big red up here. And you're like, well, how do we, we have to make the flag, get above the 200, and boom, boom, boom. And then we'll. So once I know the liquidity's up there, I start looking and projecting the TA that gets me there. Because price action can't go from A to B without doing technical analysis. There's going to be a flag here. It's going to bounce off a 200 moving average. It's going to cross with the 21. Like, it's all going to happen. Don't you understand? Same with a short. Like, it's going to cross the 200. It's going to go below the 5-minute 200 moving average. Then it's going to bearish retest. Then you're going to get a chance, If you learn what I'm teaching you, you're going to be able to see the longs before they happen, the shorts before they happen. Some days there's going to look indecisive. You're going to have to take a shot. The other day it was like that. Thursday night. Remember on the weekly screen share. And if you join my trading group at cryptolifer.com, every single week on Thursday night, I hang out for 2 hours, show my portfolio, talk about life, go over the ups and downs, talk about what we went through on the week, show you what I'm looking into, what I'm doing, and show you my portfolios and break it down. We have a really good time. People say they really like it. And you can subscribe to my Discord, which that's included in the Discord, that once a week, weekly screen share. You can ask any question you want. I'm super candid. I'm really open to help you and to have a good time. So I open my heart and my life up for basically 2 hours in a very intimate setting with all you and everyone that wants to learn more and hang out. Jump into my Discord every single day. On top of that, I'm there every day. I do a video update in the morning and a video update at night. I see so many people that get a lot out of the group. Sam, you're one of the most amazing people to come to fruition on this planet. You're like a second father to me. Much love and respect for your oh so rare these days human behavior. Bless you and thank you, This one's really cool. It's a bit long, but he was in the group for 2 years. I've been learning. Last year in October, he was down to his last $30 in his account. That day, he spotted one of my setups, forming a perfectly on Sui on the 15-minute. I thought, why not? He took a 50x short on October 10th, and between his model and that major market crash, his $30 turned into $500. So he's talking about me and my model, right? He used the model. He was stunned the best way. I took profit and caught a couple more shorts trades that evening, and by the end of the day, I'd closed up 900. So the day everyone lost tons of money, October 10th, right? He ended up turning his $30 into 900, right? Because he saw what I taught him. From that moment on, I started trading much more responsibly. Then on November 17th, his wife got the news she'd been permanently laid off. He kept showing up and putting in the work, and every single day refusing to let fear take over. That was the key. He built a strong mentality through the group. Starting with the same small amount and sticking, Sammy teaches, my account grew to 9,500. I was able to tell my wife we had a reserve built up, stay focused and disciplined, and we made it through. Because of the skills Sam teaches me, my family got through what could have been an incredibly tough time. We kept our home, took care of our kids, and never missed a beat until my wife found a new job in mid-February. So when people question whether these strategies really work or doubt the value of Sammy's teachings, I just smile and shake my head. I know firsthand how much it matters. Sam, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And what I love about this is, like, that's a relationship I have with him that nobody has to get in between. You know what I mean? Like, he learned from me. He changed his life. He'll forever be grateful. I'll forever be grateful for his story that he told about hanging out, what he learned from me. And together, like, we'll have a bond. And no one else has to have, you know what I mean? It's special, man. And thank you, brother. I appreciate you with all my heart. El Toro, God bless you. That was an amazing testimonial. So, yes, I just want to say thank you unbelievably and from the bottom of my heart. So anyway, join the trading group. It seems to be working. You know, I'm telling you, people pay $99 and their life changes forever. So, yeah, that's all I can say. Okay. All right, let's get back to brass tacks here for Bitcoin. What are we seeing? Well, it took a nice, huge bounce, like a giant bounce. Looked like I should have jumped into those longs off the 200 moving average. We are starting to see the model again on the 1 minute, which could create a nice play for me here again. I like the model. I will chase that model and go after the model time and time again. So let's get back in here to what we're doing. 67,750. All right. And it is weird. There's something going on with YouTube today. Like, but no stress. I don't stress it. You know, you just keep going, doing your thing. Just keep doing our thing. Analytics look correct though on my end and the back end. So, yeah. He said the NAS moving up. I grew my account at 4% in an hour. Thanks for all the knowledge, Sam. Anytime, brother. One day trend line. Please check all day. DM. One of the YouTube it turns vibe code of the number of users watching algo with cloud. You're funny. Is that really the true story? Is that what you're saying? I know I'm here. I know, right? AI now wants to cloud all humans and make it look like we get no views so it can get the views. See? AI is going to try to crush us internally. It'll bury every one of us. So wow, the 5 minute busted off the 200 moving average. And that's why you got to know how to use the 200. You're going to get short squeezed. And this morning, look how many people got rocked and wrecked. I just came into a long and moved my stop loss up nice and easy and then took profits. That was yesterday where they dumped and pumped. I mean, it's been crazy. Oh no, that was this morning too. Yeah, the dump and pump. They did that the other day. I feel like they just did that earlier. They did that yesterday. Hold on. That's so weird. I did that same thing. On another time frame. Anyway, I don't want to waste time, but I'll do my own fractal magic alone there. Bitcoin's not stopping here at 67.8. It's getting pretty, it's getting strong. Now, it could shoulder, head, right shoulder here. Really important that we see some type of what I call consolidation, distribution, buying and selling that creates tight price action. That's what I'm looking for. I get in on distribution. I'm looking for that. And then I look for liquidity. Where is the order? Right? You guys are talking order flow, order block. You do all this stuff, but can you seamlessly pull it off without getting confused? I see a lot of, I don't trade like everybody else. I don't do all the other stuff that you see. And I don't need it. Every indicator I use is free on TradingView. You just need a premium TradingView account. All right? And yes, there's indicators and things I could sell you and ways to trade, for sure. You know? Hey, Lifer, have you tried to hold trades for longer and be on a short and long at the same time? No need. I'm pretty good at knowing when the bottom and the tops are. You know, like we sold the bottom the other day. We got right in. We sold the top. We got back out. Like, why hold things if I know kind of where the top and the bottoms are, right? That's what I think. But I mean, you do whatever you want. I don't know how to trade. I don't do that all the time. I would have to start to practice that. Yeah, that's actually a highly valued skill. Like, you know what I mean? And also, I'm not kind of all or nothing guy. It's really hard for me to do two things at once. I'm either like yes or no. I'm long or short. You know, like today, this looks like a move up to 69,000. Like they're gonna squeeze the longs. I mean the shorts, right? That's what it's telling me. So I want to see if I can get in on a long at one point today. I don't want to be both ways. Some both ways. Then I'm like, you know, I want to maximize the move when it happens. For me, that's me. And again, I found that's how an arrow hits the target. We want to push right at the target. Like we don't want to. So I look at a CEO. I look at everything in life. How does someone, you know, build a beautiful business? They stay focused on one thing. They don't short and long the business at the same time. They long the business, right? Now you can say, but Sam, you short and long. What do you mean? Well, that would be long in the portfolio though, you know? But yeah, I like to go one direction, keep it one direction. For me, I don't, you know what I mean? And it's a crazy question to ask me because I know there's other people that I'm close to that I know that are awesome traders that do it differently. And I never want to knock anybody. So and honestly, I would say that I don't know how to do that. Like, I'm not skilled at that. Like, and I'm perfectly okay with being vulnerable with what I'm good and what I'm not good at. Like, if you can't admit what you're bad at, then you don't know what you're good at. You know what I mean? That's like a really key point. Like, if you can't admit what your vulnerabilities are, then how do you know what your strengths are? You know? Like, some guys are designated hitters. Like, they're not good. They're not good at being outfield. They're not good at playing a bit, but they can hit that ball better than anybody else, and they'd rather keep the guy healthy hitting, so why put him out there? So you're the designated hitter. You just get to hit, bro. You know what I mean? The other guy, he has to go play and hit. It's different. He can't hit as well as you, but he can play in the outfield pretty dang good. He can do both pretty good. But so, you know what I mean? It's like, so you play to your strengths. My strength, I'm not good at doing that. It's a great question, actually. I really appreciate it because I was able to reveal a good teaching moment there. And I think that's what it's all about. That's why I'm here for every day. So God bless you, man. Thank you for being a part of the stream, and thank you for asking questions. I really want to make sure this is more of like a moment where people feel like they can ask. You know, I see people, they'll say like someone will say, I got something happened the other day. I got DM'd and like I thought it was you. And I'm like, did you send a $1.99 super chat asking me if it was me? Did you confirm? And they're like, I'm live every single day. It costs you $1.99 to make sure you're not. So anyone that gets SCAM'd by someone that claims they're me, I'm live 7 days a week. And it says when I'm live on my thing, man, you know, and then I'm live 4 times on the weekend. Like, it's just like, and then I'm going to do the monthly candle close tomorrow night. Like, you can't say I couldn't find you or I had to email your staff. It's like, dude, you could just find out when I'm live, which is every single day. Send a $1.99 super chat and just verify, hey, man, did you send me an email about a new group that does this? No, I don't do that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's happened recently, but, you know, I'm always on the lookout for it. So please, like, utilize the super chat. It's a direct connect to me 7 days a week. I mean, I think that's so valuable. I think people overlook it. Yeah. Then they'll be asking questions, trying to figure things out. And I'm like, did you super chat me once about it on the live? We could have went over it for you live. This is a teaching moment here. This is not the regular stream that's like showing you our money. And, you know, I like to show you my trades, but because I want to teach you how to do it. It's the only reason I'm going to show you my wins. Right? This is where we get together when we make it happen. Yeah. So yeah, I would just see this go tight. If it gets tight, I'm going to make the trade. And I already see the trade. I already have it kind of ready to go. I already even have the parameter set. You know, it's like I can $5,000 for 2, maybe 500 for 2 grand, you know? The more, you know, so now I'm ready to go. Now, what if it just starts to dump and goes down? Fine, so be it. You know, that's okay. Let's look into the bearish scenario now. So the bullish scenario is that we're in this cup and handle, double bottom, and Bitcoin's digging in. And it's attempting to put in this double bottom. I mean, that's a double bottom on the daily. I'm just, again, that's why I call myself a simple man, because I'm not trying to overthink this. These break up 68% of the time. I don't, you know, you can do ICT, liquidity, you could do PD array, you could do whatever you want, you could do fibs, like I showed you. Support of resistance, but man, that's also just a W. A lot of people won't see it. And there's a chunk of liquidity here that could hold us down. There's a gap of the VRVP. When these keep getting tight, and it does start to look, you know, we had this first cup and handle. We did pump. Rejection. Bigger cup and handle. As long as these lows aren't taken out, you have to assume that we're hanging in there. Right? So as long as the daily doesn't close a candle below 63.5, 63.9, and 62.8, you got to believe that there's a chance to win. You see what I'm saying? This is just how you have to trade. I'm not telling you what to do, and I'm not telling you, I don't think this is even my opinion. This is what the charts are telling you. You take in, you know what I mean? This is how you know, like when you play chess and you look at if I was on the same chessboard as you and the player moved his horse, and then after he moved his horse, I could say, well, he has 4 moves from that move. And you could be trading and you'd say he has 4 moves. I feel like I'm doing the same thing. Like the game doesn't change and the horse can't really go any more than 4 places. So I'm just showing you how TA kind of sets the parameters. Now, so when it comes down to support or resistance, like you're going to have to break above 75,000 before you lose 64. You lose 64 before 75. So, you know, we got to dig in here. Very oversold in the daily. So now we start to look, okay, is the 4-hour building something that we didn't see before? And I mean, it defied a bear flag so far, which is great. I was in this bear flag. It's funny. I wanted this bear flag. I went to get in. I went to like get something to eat or something like yesterday. I like walked away and it dumped and pumped. Like, that happened in like 10 minutes. I didn't have a chance. I was going to get into the short and then I would have sold. Then I just laughed to myself. I said, hey man, if I missed the move that fast, then so be it. You know, it was kind of relieving. I was like, well, it's over now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, there you go. I mean, this is kind of an uptrending bull flag here. So that's a deal. I mean, the 1 hour has resistance, flush, bounce off previous low, flush the low, right? Take out liquidity, run it back up, get above the previous resistance. It's got resistance coming up at the 200 moving average and somewhere at 68.5. But so here you are. This is kind of your day. You want 2 to 3 more hours of tight price action, and it looks like Bitcoin can get up to 71.5, 70K. The cautious trader can wait for us to break above the 200, the 21 to catch, and then get the trade there. You know, that's going to be like, if you want to be real, like you want like a like 90% more guarantee that we're going to pump, then no. You wait for that price action. I can teach you all the different, I can teach you like the corny, low risk way to trade. I can teach you the high risk entry that's just like, that's like going to pay you the most, but it's like, whoa, like, but you got to get in right, you know, legendary entries, like buying that bounce on the 200 right then. Like that would have been, you know, on the 30 minute. It might end up becoming legendary. The 30 minute is actually today, I don't use it all the time. I use it sparingly. Probably a couple times a month, you'll see me really focus on the 30 minute. And you say, Sam, you switch between the 30, the 15, the 4. What's going on? Well, when I started using the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame, you know, and then I expanded to daily and started using the weekly. Then I got into the 3 day. And like what happens is you just start using time frames and they start to kind of add on. This is going to sound weird, but it's kind of like a coach. And let's just say you have no players yet and you're building a football team and you add like a wide receiver, then a running back, then a quarterback. It's like each time I add a time frame, I add like another skill level. Like there's something to that time frame that can help me when the rest of the market isn't there. And again, like liquidity really does help too. Like this is screaming we're getting a bounce somewhere to 69K. And so then my measured move to 70,000 doesn't seem so unlikely. And I know I'm long above the 200 moving average. And then so the things, and then I know support of resistance. Previous resistance is support, isn't it? Technically, I could trade that SNR right now, that SR flip. It depends on how risky you want to be. Someone could enter this trade right now and say, okay, well, there it is. I mean, the risk is 3 to 1 with the, what I call SR, what is it? SR flip, a support and resistance flip. Keeping the stop loss below the next resistance below the first one. So you have this resistance, then you have that one, and you put the stop right there. I'm not doing it yet. I want to see like maybe an hour to 2 more of price action, and maybe I miss a pump. You never know. Sometimes I wait for the perfect entry, and it rips. It is touching the 21 above the 200 on the 30-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame. They both look interesting to me. I've got the trade set up. I've got the parameters set. I can see what I'm going for. 478 for $2,000 would turn it into a $3,000 day, or basically about a break-even day after the losses from yesterday. So today would be a 500 though, you know. This would be high risk to jump in right now on the bounce. Very high risk. Extremely. It has some head and shoulder vibe. This could dump in our face. Let's take a look at the bearish scenario now. Very important. Let's take a look at the bearish scenario. Why? Because I think it's important to stay open-minded at all times. And to never like sell yourself a dream that may or may not be true. You know, and at the beginning, I had to be long or short to make a long. Now I can be either, I can kind of just be limber. I just do what the charts kind of, I've changed my entire trading way in the last like 18 months. I went from being like, you know, what I think was kind of an amateur trader to someone who really could flip with price. I see price action differently. Last 2 years, really, things have, you know, in leverage trading has really fine-tuned my trading abilities. Because you got to be on all day long. You got to be on it. You can't just do it here and there. You got to be on it. If you're going to keep your portfolio and grow it and not get banged and not lose it all, like, you got to be on it. You got to be serious about it. You can't dabble here and there and, like, you know. I see this as a falling wedge. I see it that it could also make a shoulder. I swear I can feel my hair growing right now. You ever, like, it's like pushing out of the board. The head and shoulder right there. Okay. So that could bounce, but it could also be a bearish retest. Right? The song's a little too much. It's like, you know, I want to try to scare people over here. Oh, we're already back to the... No. Yeah, there we go. Motherboard Duck Ma. That Duck Ma, baby. Always makes me think of Stack McChange, man, that Duck Ma. You know, previous support is resistance here. This could, you know, you're also, look at the CL at 12 hours hitting a POC. I mean, this very well could get rejected and start to dump. Make a, you know, and then that could just become like a real problem. To me, it's bearish. You lost it, you know, you fell down, and I've been bearish, but we're pretty oversold. And so that's what I would do. I just wait. This goes more sideways, I take the trade. Right now, there's still a chance it dumps, and we are more bearish. I don't know. I'll have more information in about a half an hour to an hour when the price action gives me the sideways price action. See, like, and knowing this is awesome. Like, I will set a trade up, I will set an alert, and then I just know that, like, until that alert hits, I don't need to push it. You know, and shout out to everybody here. We already won in my trading group. We went long last night, just to make it clear. Like, publicly, that's what I did. I stayed long. I was long this morning, and I already won my trade this morning. And I'm, you know, I have no stress. Like, I didn't chase anything. I have no loss. Like, it's awesome. The trading day's been going great. So I feel blessed. I don't need to chase. You know, we're already beginning it great. It's a Monday. I like to trade Monday nights mainly. That's when I start to get real, like, I really get into it. So yeah, that to me is a little bearish. 8-hour time frame, 4-hour time frame. So here it is, the 4-hour. Like, you got above the 200, so good. Previous support is resistance. Well, look, I mean, aren't you in the range? You're still inside this 1, 2, you know, and this could come right back down to the bottom of the channel. This could end up making a head and shoulder pattern. So this 1 hour really has, like, we got to watch it. You really got to stay above the support of resistance, and you really got to stay above the 21. You got to go 3 to 4 hours and break out. Otherwise, this is going to crumble apart, Simpson. Shoulder, shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? How would you know what to do? Well, the 5-minute will lose the 200 moving average pretty drastically. And let's see, I'm just going to go up here to see what your Powell could be saying if it matters. So much broader for the example, the pandemic inflation, he says. We spent 15 years just stop doing CC. I don't know why. Trying to solve was how to get inflation up to 2%. We're taking questions from people in the chat, which is kind of awesome. I mean, some people, you know, kind of want to see what people ask them, right? It's where the my CC isn't keeping up too. Oh wow, they made it big. So it's hard to keep your mind open to just how broad the possibilities are. Okay, take the possibilities are. Okay, take down here, yes. My name is Robert. Thank you so much for being here. I'm my first year. I want to read what the questions are. It's quite kind of interesting. Yeah, so I'm looking for this bounce. I'm a first year study econ, math, and philosophy. I've listened to at least retroactively say that we really needed during the COVID pandemic was around 3 trillion. And the government printed, you know, something along 6 trillion more than that. So inflation rose, but that money's still out there. So if rates come down, you know, obviously you took initiative and you raised them very significantly. If rates get lowered again, let's just say 2%, do you think that the price spikes have already played out? Or do you think that all the extra money being out there, well, on top of, instability, I'm saying what this guy's saying, I don't talk like geopolitically, into an inflationary spiral. And then also I was wondering, for your next conference, are you going to start with good afternoon or hello? Dude, he's asking Poly Market so he can bet on Poly Market. Dude, what he says here, if he says that that's what he's going to say and then you bet that and then he doesn't say it or he does say it. So the kid asked him what he's going to say at the beginning of his next speech. Like, this is crazy, man. That kid is gaming him for Poly Market. This is crazy. Like, that's, you know what I mean? It's we live in such an interesting time. We really do. Such an interesting time. Sammy, can't you always find a time frame when something is happening? How do you know which one to trust? I went big on my dreams, so no need to chase for me. You're funny, man. Biddy quad rotation, bull div on the weekly. Shout out to Lakochi Coker in the house. God bless you, Lakochi. Yeah, did you just let that ride all night? The Kong Stones. Yeah, I did, man. I did, yo. I didn't even think about it. I just went to bed. Like, it looked good as I went to sleep. There was confirmation that I was good to go. And so, yeah, I woke up and I was like, oh, yeah, that trade. I looked at my phone. I had it going on the Weeks app. And I don't necessarily trade on the Weeks app. I trade at home, but then when I go on the run, I take the phone with me, and then I can get in and out of the trade. Yeah. Do you just let that ride all night? I did let it ride all night. I did. It was crazy. Still waiting to see if Bitcoin can hold the 200 moving average here on the 30-minute time frame. Might be a beautiful buy. Same here as we got the bounce on the 5-minute, but it has some head and shoulder vibes. It has a lot of ups and downs. They've been going after the small time liquidations here, small time frame liquidations. 1 minute looks bearish as it just lost the bearish retest of the 200 again for the second time. One there. Interesting. I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm going to stay off the smaller time frames, move out to the 30-minute and the 15. See if we can get a bounce here in the next 2 hours. We're either going to lose the 200, probably jump down to 65.8. We're going to get sideways and get a pump. BookMap's telling me that we got a pump up to 69. There's just liquidity waiting for us to grab. Just need to get there, baby. So I'm not giving up on the idea that we're going to bounce because that's just what I see happening on the liquidity map. But there's no guarantees at all. Okay? No guarantees at all. Follow me on X. I greatly appreciate it. Jack Dorsey Square just announced to automatically turn on Bitcoin payments for 4 billion businesses today. Everyone will now accept Bitcoin by default. Massive. I mean, it's a big deal. I love this. Turn me on, man. That's so funny. But crazy, man. That's huge news. Bullish for Bitcoin, baby. That's bullish for Bitcoin. And we post this stuff in the group too, just so you can, the Discord's always feeding you information, keeping you going and giving you up to date with all this awesome stuff, right? All right, let's break it down. 67.5 Bitcoin looking like it might get this bounce. Kind of want to get into I want to kind of begin the long, and then if it stays that way, add to it. Yeah, risk 200 for 8 just to kind of get my feet wet, because that could be a really good entry if it ends up playing out. If it loses, I'll make the position again. I'm not that stressed about it. And then an hour or two from now, I'm going to add to the trade. It just kind of keeps me kind of more involved. All right, $20,000 position, 630 at 33x leverage, nothing crazy. I think it was 200 for like $600-800 or something. It is almost a 5-to-1 risk-reward ratio at this point on that wick. So I felt like take advantage of that risk-reward ratio As it gets up, I'll get into a bigger trade with lesser risk reward ratio. It'll be up here somewhere at a 3 or 282. But because I have the 264, the 42, the 47, I could probably go to 26, 27. You know what I mean? The balance. Anyway, it's math. I think you get it. So I did start the scalp, and it would be an intraday scalp up to 70,000. Looking to kind of cap on this possible move, and it is just saying that we're getting up somewhere. BOOKMAP has not given up on this, on Big Red, and Big Red's been right more than it hasn't a lot lately. So that gets me excited. Very, very excited. Okay, doke. All right, so moving forward, let's take a look if there's any altcoins that are kind of running game right now. Holding on, remember, the one we still like, you know what it is, right? DEXI. The only thing that really is still holding it. Look, Kite did fall down. I never traded it. Kept looking at it, never traded. DEXI is 781. I just can't, like, DEXI just is the number one winner, man. And I found it at 350 a month ago, and now it's like my champion altcoin. It's like there's still an altcoin. It's weird. There's alt season for one coin, DEXI. You know what I mean? I still like Chainlink for a long-term accumulation. I just feel like it has to become part of the bigger process when AI and crypto come back together. You know, a lot of people think that crypto is dead, man, but I believe it's a different story. I think the use case for crypto and what people were going to put money into went into AI. You had to build AI. You had to do curves. AI was kind of building on itself, and you know your competitor was doing it. So people with money and institutions didn't spend a bunch of money on altcoins. They weren't the thing anymore. They forgot about us, and it makes sense, and that's why we didn't get alt season, because AI was the higher priority. You had to build. Now, once AI is more kind of filtered and people can work, they can center that AI back into crypto, and then even more money could come into crypto. So it's maybe the reason why we never got a big bull run. It's because AI stole the show for some time, but that money is going to get so big because AI is going to overtrade. It's going to send bots. It's going to create trillions more. It could trade 24 hours a day when we can't. If everyone's going to have a bot running, almost every single person is going to get into bot trading at one point in their life in the next 5 to 10 years. And there's going to be liquidity all across the board, everywhere. It's going to be insane, right? It's only a matter of time. So to me, I see that as the future. Yeah. I see that as the future. And if that's the future, I think that you're going to see money come back into crypto. I do like Tau. I do stack a Tau bag. And I like this so far. You know, we just closed the candle on the 30-minute, but we're staying inside on the wick. Can we get another wick and a green? When I look at it closely, I see some shoulder head kind of like it just... Price action is very, very weird. It's not my favorite, I'll be honest. It's very intricate, to say the least. And any new coins on your radar that you should be kind of knowing about? Pearl, Prev.Kia AI. You might want to write that down. PRL, $28 million market cap. I don't know nothing about it, but you may want to know. Katana, Superform. BitLayer keeps hanging in there, but yeah. R2 Centrifuge Monad. BitLabs Light. BitLight Labs. This Pearl, Prev.Kiv AI, kind of has me looking. What is this thing? Interesting. Very small. It's a platform for managing training data for artificial intelligence. The system is built around a workflow that incorporates human experts and data annotation process, aiming to support multi-model AI models across text, image, audio, and video. It includes tools for data acquisition, quality control, evaluation, and rapid iteration, with support for domain-specific oversight and reinforcement learning from human feedback. The platform also features tools for translating high-level goals into precise specifications, cleaning and enriching raw data sets. Interesting. And just to give you some news too, Bitcoin ETF see a $290 million in outflow as risk-off sentiment intensifies. U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs bled roughly 296 million in net outflows between March 27th, 24th, and 27th, as a broad risk shift tightened as the global markets. But we did see that. I think it could create some lows for people to jump back into as well. But we did see some sell-off, right? Bitcoin dies as Trump weighs U.S. ground operation Iran, but it's rising again, right? And why is the U.S. easing the Cuban oil blockade? Well, Trump reversed his Cuba oil blockade, allowing a sanctioned Russian tanker to dock. Cuba fuel crisis has ground its economy to a halt. The action is part of a larger reconciliation between the United States and Russia. A Russian tanker carrying hundreds of thousands of barrels of crude oil sailed towards Cuba this week after President Donald Trump reversed course on blocking oil supplies to the island, saying he sees no reason to stop other countries from sending fuel there. And there you go, Nice little bounce for BTC, baby. This is what we're looking for. And honestly, being above the 200 in tight price action tells me something is brewing, especially after this nice bounce in the dip, and they liquidated anyone that tried to long at the wrong time. Luckily, we nailed it, and we're in earlier than most. But again, hey, we did it, baby. They got me a couple times, and I was going after that 1 minute. I was hunting that bottom, man. Sniffing those bottoms, baby. Oil looking bullish again, too. Remember our setup from yesterday? Still kind of kicking there on oil, right? It still looks like it could be bullish. Almost looks like Bitcoin and oil. And I think Bitcoin and oil should pump together. They're both scarce assets. They should both receive that feeling of scarcity. If they're both getting pinched, one's getting pinched and one's Bitcoin, man. But anyway, I think it's all going to come out in the end, no matter what. They made it very hard this time. The move up to 126, up and down. I love what they do, man. They make Bitcoin a hard club to be in. You know what I mean? If you want to be in the Bitcoin club, you kind of have to have some real guts. If you're a fair weather friend and you're in and out trying to make some money, man, Bitcoin will flush you out so fast. You have to know who you are, be really grounded to stay in Bitcoin for years. Like, I'm still in Bitcoin. Since I got in and I found out at $300. Like, I don't sell Bitcoin, I buy more Bitcoin, and I don't get stressed and I don't get fear and I don't get into that stuff. And I just do what I do. It's crazy. I'm not even money hungry, which is weird because you think, oh, well, this guy's an investor. He's on YouTube. But I'm just energy hungry. Like, when I buy Bitcoin, it makes me feel better. It's like standing up against something. It's like I'm saying something. I'm saying, hey, man, no. I'm buying Bitcoin here, Speaking of which, let me go over here to spot. What do we got there? And we're going to buy us some more Bitcoin today. Just because it's the right thing to do and to show you that I care and believe in Bitcoin. I'm not playing games. Look, 777s is my number. 677777. Why not? And I'm not going to buy, I don't usually buy a little tidbit. Let's see, I'm in spot. I want to go to spot. Spot trading Bitcoin. Let's see here. Assets, right? Spot. Says I got 13. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you have to go transfer. And you're going to transfer from wallet account to spot. 5 piggets, right? Transfer successful. Go over back to spot here on BTCC. Nice and simple. Bitcoin's ripping. And we're going to leave a little bit for fees or whatever, right? And we're going to buy Bitcoin at 67.8. I would have liked the 777s, but that's okay. We're going to buy 0.07. You know how many people will never buy that much Bitcoin? And the order went through. Up, did it? No. Filled 89. Nope. No. Look at that. I bought Bitcoin at 89, 109. Look, I'm buying Bitcoin there too. I'll buy Bitcoin. I haven't bought Bitcoin on this account in a long time. 5,000, 2,000. So there's my order. I was like, where's the order, right? And I even canceled the order, confirm. I'll just mark it by, man. I'm not trying to be picky about it. Yeah, I got the 13. I can do the clean 5. That's just going to go through immediately. 67,858. They just gave it to me $5, but that's no big deal. You see? So now you got some BTC. I do. Again, you do whatever makes you happy. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, Look, see, the risk changes now completely. See, the trade is different. It was a 471 when I got in. Look, that trade's already up 15%. That's crazy, right? Crazy. Look, get rejected. Come on down. Get tight. It could continue to rip fine. Then I at least get something. I'm in the trade. You know what I mean? And see how I'm kind of managing the trade too? It doesn't have to be all at once. You got to just kind of, and see how calm I am? You got to stay calm when you're trading. You got to keep a calm, cool, collective head and just kind of do your thing. Don't let them get into your, don't get emotional, man. Emotions have no place here. One step at a time. Risk what you can handle. If you're getting crazy and emotional, you're over-risking. Trying to change your life overnight, it doesn't work like that. All right? Okay. People saying Bitcoin is riskier than the streets are trash at trading and investing. Someone says, go on the streets. I am from the streets. What you talking about over here? Hey. Guys are getting crazy over there. Hey. At least we would make tons of money on the street because Bitcoin ain't your butt. You're funny. That's how the big boys do it. Yeah. Shout out to Rob Roman, man. God bless you, bro. Stay positive, everybody. Don't let anyone get to you. Don't let anything get to you. Beautiful day, beautiful life, beautiful opportunity every single day here on this channel. I want to take a look at the S&P futures too. Let's take a look at the Tech 100. And we'll look at the NASDAQ. Go back to fooders. You don't trade fooders? I trade fooders all day. Fooders. Let's look at the NASDAQ, the Tech 100. So that took a tumble in 30 minutes. Let's take a look on the daily. Ooh, trying to bounce. So let's see. I like this little flag so far. So good for Bitcoin. Kind of got like a diamond. I don't know. It's interesting. But I like this tightness. Keep getting tight. Get the pump. So I gave you everything I could. I think I really figured out something that most people would never see. Even I'm like kind of amazed by this. But hey, we'll see what happens. I don't want to toot my horn before we hit, Take your shoes off when you enter the Lifer House. Smash that like button, baby. Thank you so much. Hit the like button before you jump on in. Be super nice of you. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We love you guys. And we thank you. Yeah. Tightness is about an abundance. 67.8 for Bitcoin. Crazy move how it looks. They made a bearish flag. It's crazy how I avoided even getting hurt because I just didn't open up the short because I got distracted on a Sunday. But I had guests over. We had a good time. We were cooking ribeyes and New York strips, and we were eating in the backyard, having a blast. It was a good time, man. Shout out to my man. God bless you, brother. I never, don't want to put my close friends' names out there anymore on the stream. You never know, but shout out to my man. I love you, man. You know who you are. If you're listening, we appreciate you, and we thank you. Bitcoin and hustling are both pretty risky. Muhammad, just find your lane and ride it, baby. Hey, you do what you got to do, right? You do what you got to do to survive. Okay, so we got a Bitcoin trade cooking. We may want to add to it for more. If it looks even tighter, I might go pretty hard there. 1,000 for 4, 700 for 260. We'll see. I want to get the right confirmation. See how patient I am? And I'm okay with missing it because I'm not money hungry. And I'm okay with losing, and I got to stop. Like, if you're not money hungry, somehow you can make more money. It's weird. If you're money hungry, you're likely going to make a bunch of greedy decisions that affect your emotions, that affect your trades, that usually end the account. You got to stay consistent. You got to stay disciplined. Every day you have a game plan that you follow. I'm going to get back into my workout soon, some type of workout. I guess even just, I'm going to do something. It's not going to be exactly the same, obviously, because of my leg, but it's going to be the best it can be. Everyone, I got to plug Bitcoin Las Vegas because I love it, and I want to see you there. Hit the link to Bitcoin Las Vegas in the description. When you're checking out, use the code LIFER to jump on into Bitcoin Las Vegas. You will absolutely love it. I can't wait to see you guys there. There's just a month left. The 27th to the 29th, Bitcoin Las Vegas, folks. Yeah. It's a good time. I had a blast. I never miss a Bitcoin event. I have a good time every single time I go. I see my good friends and family. We hang out. We chill. It's a good time. Things seem to work out, it's just, and the friendly faces and the energy is like on nothing I've ever felt. This looks, I have to be honest, this looks kind of like, it looks like head and shouldery. I'm not, it's a little iffy after the bounce though. That's why I would just watch this 15 of the 2. I wouldn't get too heady on the 1 and the 5 today. Let this play out over time. Only up $70. Look, another green trade, no matter what you want to say, right? We don't lose money. Most of the time, and if we do, you see me bounce back with a win, baby. Just like yesterday, I lost 2 trades on the stream, but we bounced back. Yeah, 1 hour chart looks pretty good to me too. When the 21 curves up and you start to get this crunch time between the 200 and the 21, it tends to pump. But we got to get back above that 200 moving average. I like the 30-minute right now because it's holding the 200. And it's giving us a line in the sand. You stay above the 200, we're still bullish. Doing well. Thanks for asking. Yeah. And shout out to everybody here on the stream. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it more than you would ever know. Let's get that like button. Let's get the likes up to the watchers on this crazy day. Shout out to everyone here trading with me on a beautiful Monday. Non-stop, not taking days off. Keep pushing. And I know it's not easy. Thank you so much. I had to bring it. I know, baby. I know. Let's go. Let's go. Doing well. Yeah, the flag pointing up. And again, we're kind of flat right now. We're in waiting now. About 2 hours in waiting, or you lose the 200. You know what to do. I've given you the sauce. Now you just got to execute. That's all. You got to have a plan and go for it. If something doesn't make sense, you got to ask yourself, well, I don't have a plan then. And you got to make a plan. You got to go for it. You got to nail it. You can do this. I believe in you more than you ever know. If anyone can do it, I know it's you. You got this. Someone said gold, 1 minute vertical. Interesting. Let's take a look at gold. Gold, baby, gold. Who'd I be trading that gold, though? 4,500 for that gold. Remember, it was like XT. I think this is it. Is it X? No, what was it? You guys told me what it was. Usually it's XAUT or something, but you should just be able to touch gold. Like, maybe it'll take you to gold just by touching it, right? But I'm already in futures. Yeah, there it is. XAUT. Yeah. Hey, man, I'm open-minded. I've been trading gold, silver, Bitcoin all day. They've been fun. So on the 30-minute, gold's doing just what Bitcoin's doing, which is interesting. It's kind of in some chop, but it's in a flag. I feel like it broke the trend line, came back inside. Now it looks bullish. Looks like a nice place to trade gold, man. I mean, I like it. That's bullish to me, and then I can put a stop below the low. I'd take a shot at that. I'd like to lose that trade. It's so nice. Like, I'd love to lose this trade. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever had a scene a trade that you wouldn't even mind losing? It looks so good. It doesn't make sense, right? Sam, what are you talking out of you're talking nonsense. You wouldn't mind losing the trade? It's so good that if I lose it, I'd be like, hey, I did the right thing. Again, I'm not going to go too hard. Damn, it's hard to go even like a little bit there. How is it 2-1? How is that 160? How is that possible? Like, I'm confused. And you see the 30-minute looks a lot like Bitcoin. It's channeling above the 200. It looks nice, man. It looks like the dollar's going to drop. I would look at the DXY right now because it's telling me that something's going on. And again, I'm telling you, they're going to print money. They have to. I don't see how they can't continue to print money. Almost a head and shoulder here on the 15. Smaller time frames look real. The volatility on the smaller time frames crazy. Crossing the 200 moving average there too. I like what I'm seeing on the 1 hour. I really want to trade the bigger time frames today. I want to stay away from the smaller ones for whatever reason. I don't understand why that's telling me. I don't get why it's a 1-to-1. Like, what's... So confused. Why is it 1-to-1? It's something. What am I doing wrong? It's like it's just not computing it properly, right? Maybe. When in doubt, I always refresh the page, man. It's probably me though. It's something I'm doing, more than likely. So we want to sell $5,031. Want to put a stop loss at $47. All right. I'm confused. I'm not going 1-to-1. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't. It says it's 3-to-1. So maybe is the fee so high that when you get in, like you just pay that much that you're down already? It could be the case. I don't know. Why does it give me a 1-to-1 trade? Let's see. Liquidation level. Huh. I think it's just confused, or am I putting in the digits wrong? I don't know. Interesting. I look at gold here. Same scenario here. Similar sauce, right? And you see gold just kind of above the 200 on that 21. I mean, I like it. There it is. About to say, I was like, where is that? So that looks good to me. And then they already kind of stop hunted the price action on a Monday. So we might be able to just clean right up. Right? Try this again here. Numbers are slightly different, but 5,016. Take profit 4411. Right? 470 for 1700. I like it. I don't even have to be that rich. I could go 270 for 1,000. I don't trade gold all the time, so it's high risk, but I'll take it. I like it. So there's a gold trade. I like gold right now. Looks similar to Bitcoin. It's telling me that if the dollar gets a move, it's looks like we're going to get a pump for the Bitcoin and gold. Like, right? So. Someone said, what about oil? Oil was looking pretty good too. You know what I mean? Let's take a look at oil. Thank you for bringing that up. I mean, they all should pump if the dollar dumps. What if they all rip, you know? So let's take out oil, the bigger idea for oil here. Remember, we were in the oil trade. Far ground. You know, it looks a lot like gold, doesn't it? I feel like it did this. Like it broke out already. You know, you were in this channel and you've broken out. Then you made that beautiful flag that we played. It pumped nicely. Gave it back. Now you're in kind of this, but Guess we got to include it now because it's just that's what happened, right? I really feel like the whole market took this, like, but it got back inside. You know, the same thing happened with gold, Bitcoin. It's like, there's your pattern, right? You lost the trend. You regained the trend. I know you're like, but you're negating. I mean, yeah, you could see there's still a trend here too. I get it. And maybe you dump down, get tight, and then make a bigger channel. Like you might do something like this. Right? We could end up, or this could be a bigger breakout. To me, oil's a little riskier. It doesn't look as solidified. It looks like it could be making a right shoulder, but it is tight. Let me take a look at oil on the daily. Big time frames really could teach you something, you know. I feel like it broke out, but if you want to make it tight, you could say it's like about to break out again. That looks bullish to me. You see, like, that's $154 barrel, right? That is something I would... So if today we close green, or even on the wick there, I mean, this looks bullish to me. Right? So you'd say I get to $154. I put my stop below 92. I don't trade like everybody else, right? Everyone wants to be like vicious, you know, on everything, you know. That you'd have to get a bigger move. You're going for a bigger call there. You know, that's got to be like, you know, 15 for 8, something like that. But then you're saying you're believing oil is going to make a big move. You're kind of committed to the fact that something's going down. 780 for $4,000, you know what I mean? You could take at least a couple grand if you get a pump. Halfway up, you're pump. A quarter up, you're up 1,000. So look at the 4 hour. You're all the 21 above the 200 with low stochastics. I wouldn't be surprised if you had some time to pump there. And you really can connect this line and say, that's the trend. I mean, that's what you're in right now. Very tight. Looks like oil is going to have to make a move very soon. You see it's getting in the wedge and it's going to break out or down. Looks more bullish than bearish to me right now as we speak for oil. So, yeah, it looks like a long for oil is in place. But like an oil, Bitcoin's going to pump with, you know, if the dollar drops, wouldn't Bitcoin and oil both pump? Why do they have to be completely uncorrelated, you know? So we'll see what happens, folks. We've made a couple trades today. We'll see where they go, what happens to them in the interim. The gold trade's barely up a little bit. I may enter this oil trade. It's actually just started to pump a little bit. Just whenever I'm in oil, then I'm watching Bitcoin and oil, and they're back and forth. And then I want Bitcoin along, and it's like kind of weird. It weirds me out. I did it a couple times, and it's been a bit odd both times. But we'll see. I do like what I'm seeing here for oil. So it does look interesting. I gotta, you know. Ripple CEO talks about a $13 trillion opportunity, but will XRP investors benefit from it? Ripple CEO revealed that the G Treasury, the company they bought last year, processed $13 trillion in payments, and none of these payments were done through a stablecoin or crypto asset. He declared that there's an opportunity to integrate crypto and stablecoins as blockchain technology becomes the go-to for payment rails. Garlinghouse describes stablecoins as an entry point to crypto adoption. Don't they have RUSD, though? Aren't they going to use that instead of Ripple? I think Ripple's just their cash cow that they sell for the company. I don't know what's going on there, but it seems a bit odd, you know? Whatever. It is what it is. You could tell I'm a huge fan, right? I mean, I'm not hating. Ripple is what it is. Right? Oil doesn't care about the dollar. It's all just demand and supply. Yeah? Just remember, midterms are near, and they will get oil down. Yeah, but this is like an intraday pump. Like, oil is up already now. I want to be over leveraged here today on multiple assets, but looks like I got a little more time. So, you know, but we're about to get some. So it looks like some news is coming in the next hour or two. It definitely wasn't Jer Powell, man. He was not the talk of the town. He's still yapping here. Nobody cares. They didn't want to take the public transportation. They all moved to the suburb. They're talking about things that don't matter. Okay. Couldn't get the semiconductors, so you were looking at vertical supply curves. So a little bit of demand drove prices up. A lot of them, of course. Yeah. Wow, oil moving actually nicely, almost up $1 since we sat here. I might have sniffed out an entry there. Bounced off the 200. Very volatile, though. I see it just going up and down a lot when I get into it. Like, it's crazy. I'll watch it, though. It definitely looks like something I may be attending to. Get a nice little pump later on today for oil. I'm here from Thailand. God bless you. Boots on the ground. Yes, that's what's happening. That's what we see going down. And let's take a look at River. As Bitcoin's been sideways most of the stream. Wow, River just exploded 14 to 1560 to the upside. Still pretty beat down from the last time we looked at it. But you know what you're looking for River is to hold this higher low in the daily. It's super tight. I mean, River could break out big time here. It's been a volatile asset, but it's probably been traded more than almost anything else in the last few months. Wow, that looks interesting. Let's take a look at it on the 12. I mean, yeah, you got the 4 hours, got the 200 moving average coming through. So if you get here, aggressive entry right now, but you get here and you get above the 221, I mean, that could be a boom. Because that's going to have my model and consolidation. That would send River to 798. Imagine if River went on a massive tear. It just says that's what could happen. So, I don't know, but that's just what it says. You never know for sure, but that's kind of what I see happening. No guarantees at all, but River looks interesting. I would put River on your radar, if anything. Okay. Yeah. I like ASTER. I hold ASTER long term. I think ASTER is a play. I don't see how CZ gives up on like what could end up making him tons of money in a decentralized space, you know? So, little pump for ASTER. Someone said it's going parabolic. I mean, you're looking for it to kind of look. It has an inverted head and shoulder. I think if anything could make it out and come back because it has utility and it just needs people to use it. It just needs a DEX to be used. Like DEXs don't even need to make, you know what I mean? It's not like, these other roadmaps of these crazy coins that say they're going to do all this. Like those decentralized internet coins, like Seller Network and all. Like, come on, man. Like this stuff was like you were going to compete with basically AT&T. You know what I mean? Let's get real. Like when they decide to move that way, they're going to move the industry that way. They have the money. They could buy you out and sell you in a second. They can get you out of the industry or put you back in. Like, I mean, to me, ASTER does look like it's going to break out here and pump. I'm in ASTER. Look at that big gap. I'd be purchasing ASTER these lows, but I'm not a financial advisor. You do whatever makes you happy. I like that higher low on the 3-day low. And before you know it, ASTER could be back to 229. Like it could be the faster move than you realize. The market comes back. ASTER's going to be the first thing I believe to pump. Right? Oil pumping, dollar pumping. It's all pumping. Oil pumping hard now. Hard. Now Bitcoin slumping around a little bit. Gold sideways. I'm not looking at the smaller time frames. I bet it's out of control. Yeah. Everybody, I want to jump out of here for the day. I love you all. I thank you so much for kicking it with the lifer. Let me take a look at the fan funding, see what's happening here in the super chats. I just want to say thanks for all you do. God bless you, man. Thank you so much, too. God bless you guys. And we'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if there was something wrong with the studio or something with the internet or whatever it was, but it seemed to be a great stream for me. I love you all. It was low super chat, low engagement, but the chat was awesome, so no stress, man. Oil looks like it could be the bigger play here to $154 a barrel, man. That daily looks like it could be, the trade on the daily. This would be the move here. Only time will tell. All right, everyone, I'm going to jump on out. Thank you so much for kicking it with the light for my little daughter. She touched the stair. There we go. I'm back. All right. But, yeah, if you need anything, just super chat, man. Let us know. $1.99 if you have any questions or if you need to know something. Like, you know what I mean? You could always ask in the group, too. I'm not saying. But if you just wanted on-demand answers, I'm always here 7 days a week. So I want to make that clear, right? If you want to trade where we trade, we're trading on Weeks, MEXC, on BTCC. The links are in the pinned comment if you want to jump on in. If you want to join my trading group, go to cryptolifer.com. hit the subscription button right there. I'll paste it right in there and see it. And if you want to join the group and hang out and see us at Bitcoin Las Vegas, hit the link there below in my description too to Bitcoin Vegas. It's the first link below the video. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for a beautiful live stream. Thank you for a great weekend. Thank you for the gains. I'll see you in the group throughout the day. God bless you. The secret to success is getting started. Keep pushing. Don't stop. I'll see you tomorrow.